The young Marshal was stunned when he realized that his wife, the woman, who almost never stepped outside, not only knew how to drive, but drove with remarkable skill. Her smooth control behind the wheel left the scheming woman beside them, trembling in fear. What shocked him even more was that she could somehow make hamburgers, fried chicken, and French fries, foods that clearly did not belong to this era at all. The truth was, the girl had once been an elite shooting champion in the modern world, but after being crushed to death by a falling steel frame, she unexpectedly woke up inside the body of a young Marshal's deceased wife during the Republican era. It did not take long for her to discover something even more unbelievable. Her husband in this life, the powerful young Marshal himself, was actually the male lead from a novel she had once been obsessed with. Even worse, the original owner of this body had been hopelessly blinded by love. Instead of cherishing her handsome, wealthy, and powerful husband, she had gotten entangled with a lowly opera actor. After trying to elope with him and getting caught, she staged a fake death to escape responsibility, only to accidentally drown for real. But the girl who transmigrated into this body was nothing like her predecessor. Just as she was lost in the fantasy of spending a lifetime at the Marshal's side, reality struck without warning. The very next moment, the Marshal coldly told her that he wanted a divorce. Panicked, she rushed home to explain herself. Instead, he pulled out a divorce letter written in the original wife's own handwriting. After reading it, she was left completely speechless. She could not understand why anyone would give up a man like him. If it were her, they would probably already have children by now. Determined to save the marriage, she tore the divorce letter apart in front of Hymond, swore she would live properly with him from now on. But the Marshal, whose heart had already been shattered once, only responded coldly. Before next week, he would have his aide draft a new divorce agreement. With that, he stood up and walked away without looking back. Her heart sank instantly. 1 week, that was her only chance to turn things around. The Marshal's cousin returned from overseas. As the daughter of a general, she had long set her sights on the position of Marshal's wife. On the surface, she acted caring and considerate, but every word she spoke was really just urging the girl to divorce voluntarily. The girl did not hold back. She bluntly exposed the cousin's true intention, to enter the household as a concubine and climb her way up. Humiliated and furious, the cousin suddenly pulled out a handgun. In an instant, the girl's gaze sharpened. She could tell at a glance at that the cousin was only bluffing. The safety was not even off. The next second, she moved like lightning. She snatched the gun, pulled the slide, and chambered a roundel in one clean motion. The cold muzzle was pressed steadily against the cousin's forehead. For the first time in her life, the overseas-educated young lady truly felt the fear of death. The girl pulled the trigger. The bullet flew past the cousin's ear and shattered the vase behind her with pinpoint accuracy. At that exact moment, the Marshal arrived and witnessed everything. The cousin instantly switched to tears, accusing the girl of being violent and unreasonable. But the Marshal's eyes never left the calm figure holding the gun. He knew right from wrong and could clearly see that his cousin's intentions were impure. Without mercy, he expelled her from the Marshal's residence and, for the first time, publicly affirmed the girl's status as the rightful Marshal's wife. The incident quickly spread. Unwilling to accept defeat, the cousin openly challenged the girl to a shooting competition at the Western City military tournament. She planned to crush this so-called countrywoman in the one field she was most confident in. As the general's daughter, her marksmanship was solid. 10 shots scored 89 points, earning thunderous applause. Then it was the girl's turn. She made a shocking request. She wanted to be blindfolded. Amid the crowd's doubts, she took her position, blindfolded, holding the gun with one hand, her stance looking anything but standard. The first shot hit the bullseye, but then the scorekeeper called out 9 consecutive misses. Final score, 10 points. The drastic contrast sent the entire crowd into laughter. The cousin's face was filled with smug confidence, but the girl remained calm. She stepped forward and requested a target inspection. Seeing the certainty in her eyes, the Marshal hesitated briefly, then agreed. The target was brought up and flipped over for inspection. On the steel plate behind it, there was only one bullet hole, but that hole had been completely punched through. The experts reached their conclusion. This was not a miss. It meant all 10 bullet shad passed through the exact same point. The accumulated impact thad pierced the steel. Her real score was a perfect 100. The field fell silent, then erupted into thunderous disbelief. The cousin's face turned pale. For the first time, genuine shock and admiration appeared in the Marshal's eyes. After the competition, he personally handed her the gun he never let out of his sight. Engraved with his personal insignia, it symbolized status access and absolute trust. He told her plan lie as long as she remained the Marshal's wife. No one would dare bully her. Her heart surrendered completely, but new danger soon followed. She unexpectedly ran into the original wife's former lover, an oily, rich playboy named Tom. The man shamelessly clung to her, and the scene was witnessed by the cousin and the concubine who were waiting for revenge. They immediately lured the Marshal over, determined to let him see this so-called affair with his own eyes. When the Marshal arrived, he saw Tom gripping the girl's hand, boldly declaring that they were truly in love. In an instant, the air around the Marshal dropped to freezing. The trust he had just begun to build stood on the brink of collapse.